Hey there, YouTube. I decided I'd finally do a review on a gun I've had for a really long time, but never really bothered to review because it's been neglected in my closet and forever alone. But I have two versions of them, and I am of course talking about the really cheap, affordable, and in my opinion quite good UHC revolvers. Now there's two types. There's this type based off of the Colt Python, and it has the pull back and push cylinder setup, and then there is the one that I don't have, which is the Smith & Wesson 686 style, which has the push forward, setup and stuff like that. So this model here, as you can see, is the silver 4-inch with the black combat grips. The other model I have is the black 6-inch with the wooden grips, for all you gamers out there, like the one in Black Ops. Saying that now so I don't get a bunch of comments. But the reason I'm not showing that one as well is because that one is with my uncle in California, because I am working with him to make metal bodies for these, all metal components. But let's get into the review. I've wasted like a minute and a half just talking about random shit. So, some overall visuals, you can see the mold marks along the bottom of the barrel, the top of the frame, right here, all along the bottom. There was a big thing, and it's still kind of there. You can see that big chunk from where it cracked out of the molding tree, and that was really rough, and I smoothed it out with a file, and I discovered that this finish isn't the whole color of the plastic. The color of the plastic is very white. And also something else I want to address before a bunch of people spam me with comments about it. You'll notice there's no orange tip. I know, and I don't care, as PewDiePie would say. I just don't like it. It's fat, and it's ugly, and it's orange, and it deserves to die and burn. So some differences between the black version and the silver version. You'll notice all the screws, pins, and cylinder ejection rod are all a shiny metal, but the trigger and hammer are black. So those are a couple visual differences. And the only trademarks locatable on this gun is this ASGK right there, and I don't know what it stands for, don't know why it's there, and then the UHC emblem in the handguard, in the grip. So the only thing about these guns is I've been running this one off a duster since I got it. I used it for a while, and then I abandoned it in my closet for the 6-inch. Because I like the 6-inch a little more, but once I pick this thing back up, I can't set it down almost. But if anyone gets these, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go and game with them, you're going to get screwed, because here's what's going to happen. First shot, after you've gassed it up, you're going to shoot, let's see, and then it's going to go, but it's not going to go to here, it's going to stop here, and the cylinder isn't going to completely rotate. So the cylinder isn't going to completely rotate, the hammer is going to stop here, and if you push it forward, all the gas is going to shoot out of the gun in one big, and you're going to get screwed. The reason for this is the hammer spring inside the gun is absolute crap. Now, they don't make aftermarket ones, but my solution is to open the gun up and just take 2 pairs of pliers and just stretch the spring out. And I'll post a video later of me doing it for this gun because I haven't done it yet, but I did it on the 6-inch model. Because I just picked this thing back up today, and I use propane in all my gas guns. I have the AI propane adapter, and I gas stuff, you know, and it's like, and it makes this really weird noise because it like hits and then bounces and then hits again, so it like partly opens it, bounces off, and then just barely opens it again, so it makes a weird noise. And so I'm gonna fix that probably tomorrow. So you can see, put the gas in through the bottom, and honestly, I don't know which grips I like better. These combat grips are very ergonomical actually, and they fit my hands very well. I mean, you can see I've got decent sized hands, you know, they take up the majority of the grip, and the gun looks kind of small in my hands. So, you know, I spread my palm out. You know, I can wrap it all the way around the gun and touch my index and thumb. Yeah, so I have completely disassembled these guns before on my 6-inch. This one I haven't messed with too much. I haven't done anything at all except remove the orange tip and shave the glue off. Yeah, you can see where I shaved the glue off. Actually, you can see it's just a little bit darker. That's because this shiny finish got scraped off a little bit too, so you can tell if you're ever like modifying this gun at all. If you're going to do like cutting and engraving modifications, I don't know if anyone's as active of a modder as I am, but do it on a black one, because all the plastic is black. This one, so that's the only thing I don't like about this. If you get any scratches, scrapes, or nicks, or dings, you know, the shininess is going to go away. But, you know, and on my 6-inch I made the mistake of painting it like 12 times. So, you know, so that was one of the main reasons we were making the metal bodies. But 2 is this gun, the 6-inch has a weight in the grip on this side of the gas chamber, and a weight in the barrel. And the wooden grip models have a weight in here. And either this one isn't as big, but it's still in here, and I don't even think there's one in the barrel, because the weight would only be like, or maybe it's just really small, because it would really only be like that long, because the hop-up unit, or actually it could be from like here up, but the hop-up unit goes from the forcing cone all the way up to about here, almost, or the middle of that. So this is really light compared to my 6-inch, you know. Don't have an exact weight, but it's maybe just under a pound probably, maybe even less than that, maybe 3/4 of a pound. So it's got the nice red ramp sights. Personally, I like those. Good for target acquisition, and they're nice, you know. And it's got fully adjustable rear sights, just like a real gun, you know. And it says, you know, oh, it used to say hop up, you know, because these guns say, you know, adjustable hop up. Box over there, you know, but really you just turn the screw, it raises the rear sight, it raises where the bullet hits, the bullet goes farther. But so when I get the 6-inch back, which will probably be a really long ass time from now, I'll do a complete disassemble video, you know, the whole barrel, you know, all the internals. You'll get to see the internals on this gun though, but I won't go into a full disassembly because I don't want to because the only thing is, with these plastic barrels, once you crack them open to get all the stuff out of them, they like to pop apart, and this piece up at the front falls out a lot once you crack it open. And if this piece falls out, the barrel can just do whatever it wants, because this piece really holds it in place. So personally, these are pretty good guns. I like them, and eventually I'll make full metal aluminum bodies for them. So if there's any fellow Revolver people out there that like the Colt Python version of UHC's Revolver, you know, the metal bodies probably won't be done. I don't know. This video is probably gonna go up around the end of August. Probably won't have the metal bodies, even just a prototype, until December. You know, winter break, maybe. But I'll post a video once I get the first batch, and I'll have 2 revolvers put together, because I'll have 2 systems. Because really the only part that carries over from your gun into the new frame is the gas chamber. That's the only thing we're not going to be able to make because of all the valves and the way it's made, because it's just molded as a tube with a little part in the top that's machined out and tapped for the valve at the top to be screwed in. And then there's a little piece at the bottom that's machined out, and it's set. How I'm assuming they do it is they set it in a thing, and they take the chamber and set it over it, and then just like pound it down into a little frame, and it like rolls the softer metal around that cap, and then they seal it. Because there's really no way to machine the chamber in here. But yeah, and this gun's still a little rough trying to open it, you know. Like, closing's fine, but you have to give it extra little push to get it out. But yeah, you know, the 4-inch is good. And you know, they always say on the internet, that's another reason I really like these guns. Say on the internet, you know, 300 FPS, 300, you know, they're probably chronoing this stuff with duster gas. Because I could put green gas in the 6-inch, 400 feet per second. That thing's a cannon, and I love it. Because it's super accurate, it's a cannon, and the other thing you can do if you want to even more FPS is if you do the hammer spring. It probably helps with that because it opened the valve better, because it's probably a bigger impact on this gun compared to other like gas blowback guns. So you know, just take you know, take this off, you know, to get access to the inside. You know, you probably could do it when you're doing the hammer spring if you decide to do that for your gun. And there's a hose that you can almost see. I think you kind of see it right in there, you know. You really can't see it in the camera, but that little shiny thing, it's just right next to that. And that is the hose from the gas chamber to the little piece that extends out while firing, which you really can't see. It's such a small gap. But anyway, just put some silicone sealant in either end of that, you know, to tighten up the seals. So I'll go more in depth in that in the next video. That's all for now, folks.